All right, so good morning, everyone. This is the fire weather briefing for October 9th, 2025. Over in Spokane, we have Joseph, and I'm Steve here in Seattle. Of course, the usual disclosure, this meeting is being recorded. By joining and participating in this session, consent is being given to the recording. Please keep your cameras off per NOAA Privacy Act statement. Okay, so here's our fire weather summary matrix for the week ahead. I'll speak to Western Washington really quick. We have some showers associated with an upper level low that are moving through the area right now, and they're going to continue on and off through the rest of the day. As this upper level low starts to shift eastward, we will start to see that become a more steady rain as we approach the weekend. Sunday stands out as significant as it does look like enough cold air is going to be moving into the area where we will start to see snow levels lower, and we could start to see the development of some, I said showers, mountain snow as we progress into Sunday. Fortunately, as we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we do start a bit of a drying trend. However, temperatures will remain on the cool side of seasonable, and so there's not too many concerns there. For the rest of the matrix, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Joseph.
All right, thank you. Yeah, main concern for Eastern Washington for the next couple of days is like the late season wind and RHs down the Okanagan Valley and the winds across the basin. Looking at winds about in the teens with gust into the 20s with RHs 20 to 30% expected for the Okanagan Valley. But behind that, we got that system pushing across the Cascades and over the rest of the Eastern Washington, bringing rain showers. And as mentioned, with the lowering snow levels, maybe even some mountain snow showers. And we also have, that pretty much goes the same with North Idaho. And that's all I have.
Okay, great. Moving on. So here's our problem of the day graphic. As Joseph already illustrated, there are some concerns with regards to RH and wind speeds there in the Okanagan Valley. Did you have any further details that you wanted to add?
Nope.
No, all right. So we have seen some rainfall already, not a whole lot, as you can tell from our accumulations here. Maybe a few isolated locations that have seen significant rainfall, but for the most part, not a wetting rain by either side of the Cascades definition. To illustrate the weather scenario we have been talking about, here's a satellite image with a surface analysis. And as you can see here, this is the upper level low that we are talking about. And I guess it should be a 500 millibar analysis, but yeah, you get what I mean. So here's our upper level low that will be the main driver for our weather really for the next 5 days. And as you can see, the rotation that I'm indicating with the cursor would show that the precipitation really is just kind of this wraparound moisture from the Pacific being driven north into our area. Here's the current satellite imagery in motion to kind of better illustrate that point. And again, here we are with the current radar. So not only are we seeing this main band of precipitation over the Cascades and spilling westward into Seattle's area, but there's also enough wraparound that's actually, you got a kind of a little band of showers here over in Spokane's area as well. So that ends the slideshow here. Let's go ahead and switch gears. Our current hazards, we still have an air quality alert here for portions of central Washington. Otherwise, the board is clear. Walking through the weather, you can see that a tale of two cities, as it were. West of the Cascades were still pretty cool and seasonable. However, remaining still a little on the warm side as we get to the east side. But as we flip through the days here, you can see that cooling start to penetrate into eastern Washington as well. And you can see temperatures even starting to get down into high temperatures, getting down into the 50s as we get into this weekend. And then really just kind of remaining there even as we get into the start of next week. So moving on to minimum RHs, again, fairly moist over here on the west side. Some dry areas over here in the east, but as this is day 7. I'm sorry. There we go. Let's go day 1. Hang on. All right. I haven't done the dashboard in a hot minute. All right. There we go. So again, fairly moist over here on the west side. As you can see, though, still some, pretty close to critical levels when it comes to RHs here on the east side. You know what? I've done this completely backwards. We'll just stick with it, though. So as we walk through, again, we still remain moist on the west side, but as you can see, we do start to moisten up on the east side as we progress through the week ahead, finally kind of getting out of any fire weather concerns here as we get into, like I said, the start of the weekend. And really kind of remaining that way as we, even though, precipitation does start to gradually ease up, we still remain kind of moist on both sides of the fence, as it were. A little bit of drying as we get towards the end of the forecast period. All right. So our wind speeds for day 1, again, there in the Okanagan Valley, we are looking at some higher wind speeds, 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 25. So again, given the dry conditions there, that will be cause for concern. And again, everything looks pretty benign on the west side. Let's see here. As we continue on Friday, much, again, another round of strong winds in a much wider area. Again, through the Okanagan Valley, even further south. And again, those pretty strong gusts present for a lot of the eastern half of the state with gust speeds up to 25 miles per hour. Those gusts really continue to hang in there as we get into Saturday. Fortunately, as we saw in earlier fields, our temperatures go down and our relative humidities come up. So even though we do continue to have wind concerns, we really don't see a lot of supporting dryness that would, trigger fire weather bells. And then as we finally get to the end of the weekend, you can see that portions of southern Washington will keep those higher wind speeds. But as we move further north, we'll see those winds taper off. And again, some lingering, but again, by this point, we're still cool and moist on the east side. So again, not much in the way of concerns. Chance of wetting rain. So again, this isn't going to be too much of a concern here for much of the day today. But as we get into, as the upper level low draws closer, our chances will continue to increase as we see the steady increase on the west side. And then finally, we start to see that spill over onto the east side as well. Obviously there's still going to be some areas on the east side that are going to miss out, but for the most part, this is a wetter picture than what we've been seeing up to this point. And even though we taper off here on the west side as we get out into the extended, you can see that all right. On day 5 here, so at the start of next week, we'll still see some lingering precipitation over on the east side. Right now, thunder is not really a concern for our area. The instability is closer to the upper level low, and that really does not really factor into anything for much of the forecast period. With regards to precipitation amounts that we're expecting, Excuse me. So as you can see, again, much of the activity is going to be here on the west side. And as you can see, it's fairly light. Maybe a few isolated patches that could meet a wetting rain for the west side's definition. But really, we're kind of waiting until we get into um, tomorrow, Friday, before we really start to see the presence of some wetting rains here in western Washington and even over the northwestern parts of Spokane's area. By the time we get into Saturday proper, again, the Cascades will certainly see their share of wetting rains, while the chances still remain splotchy for portions of Washington. However, it does look like northern Idaho will start to get into the action as well here. So finally, as we get out into the extended days 4 and 5, these are really our kind of wettest days with the two, with widespread wetting rains for much of the state of Washington. Not all of it, unfortunately, but a good portion of our areas should see it, again, some wetting rains as we get into the end of the weekend and the start of next week. So for trends, over here on the on the west side, I'm going to highlight Ore Creek here. Again, no real fire weather concerns, but this does the best job of illustrating those overnight lows, overnight Sunday and beyond, getting very close to that freezing mark. So any precipitation that we see at the end of the weekend and into the very start of next week, we could see that fall as snow on the ridge tops, and snow levels even get so far down as maybe around some of the passes as well. So encouraging some caution, but with regards to fire weather, not so much. As we move eastward, let me see here. So not there. Let me zoom in a little bit, as I know. I'll go from west to east. I put the names down. There we go. Okay, so Joseph, over to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight that the next couple of days are going to be the driest and the warmest before that system finally starts to take over and we see a decent drop in temperatures and an increase in relative humidity across the region. And also, this is mainly just for the lower Sugarloaf and Labor Mountain area. Winds aren't expected to be too breezy in the area. If you could scroll down that screen a little bit more. I just kind of want to show the increasing shower chances starting Friday afternoon and into the weekend. All right, next spot, please. And as I highlighted the concerns for the Okanagan Valley, this is the Kramer. Just seeing again that warm temperatures, low RHs for the next couple of days, the gustier winds through Friday with it, with the system before the system approaches. But then we see that increasing chance of precipitation starting Friday afternoon and through the weekend. And the last location, and just for the Idaho Panhandle, kind of the same story. Warm and drier for the next couple of days before it starts to really get moist and cool off. And again, we also hit that near freezing point in some of the lowlands, so that's any concern. But then we also get a good chance of precipitation through the weekend. That's all I have.
Okay, great. So lastly here, we have the 8 to 14 day outlook. The entirety of Washington should see temperatures fairly seasonable. As we get into precipitation, it looks like most of Seattle's area will remain near normal, and even kind of let's say, the northwestern half of Spokane's area. However, we do start to see some indications for above normal precipitation for far eastern Washington and the Idaho Panhandle. So with that, we can go ahead and wrap this up. As always, this dashboard is accessible at the web address and the QR code that you see here. And we'll end the recording here.